Hello everyone, what is up? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be talking about what's happening with XRP in the XRP community. Now in CoinMarketCap, XRP is at high 19 cents right now, but today I bought Dogecoin, we can see right there. Now if we go to J9000's tweet, tell me what you see. This is Dogecoin on the monthly chart, guys. We can see every time on the MACD it crossed, look what happens to the price right there. Again it crossed, look what happens to the price. Once more, look what happened to the price, and then we just crossed again, and this is on the monthly, so this looks promising. When I do make profit out of Dogecoin, I'll sell it into XRP. But now guys, before we jump into news, like I say, I'm not a financial advisor, nor is financial advice, just entertainment value only. The Cryptic Poet has tweeted out,
How does Ripple in general and even your team stay focused on delivering to RippleNet customers in this new environment?
Yeah, so I think number one, I think that this environment is challenging for everyone, and so one thing is ensuring that we have empathy for what our customers are going through and all their challenges. And more than not, I've seen that there's a lot of new kinds of product features that we could potentially build for these customers that solve big problems for them that are only larger now with the pandemic. So, for example, we hear more now than prior to the pandemic that folks do not want to pre-fund global currencies around the world. Why? Because, for example, the peso has depreciated 30% against the dollar. That's 30% less cash that our customers have globally. And so listening to these customers and them telling us where their pain points are, and some of these pain points are even larger, helps us become better, better solution providers, helps us be more empathetic to some of their needs, and at the end, helps us develop a better product for them.
there's a lot of new kinds of products, features that we could potentially build for these customers that solve big problems for them. Bit4Coins has tweeted out, breaking, banking giant Santander plans to expand use of Ripple payments platform after reaching 19 countries. Everyone will use XRP. Huge news, guys. And there we go. More growth. This is the year of 2020. Digital assets. The Cool Twin has tweeted out part 1.
Well, stay at one of the traditional exchanges, Bitstamp. I think in 2014 or 2015, there was some kind of freeze function executed or whatever. And how does that work, and who decides how that's executed? And just tell us about that.
Thank you for that question. That's a great question. I'd love to explain that. So the XRP ledger has a freeze feature for assets other than XRP. So for example, you can represent legal obligations on the XRP ledger and you can trade them. So for example, if Bitstamp owes me 1 Bitcoin, I can trade that on the XRP ledger to someone else who can redeem it. Bitstamp treats that as a legal obligation. Now, legal obligations can disappear because of things that happen off the ledger. In this case, there was a dispute over the ownership of some of those funds. And Bitstamp made the decision to freeze those funds on the ledger, which is what they should do. If they're not sure whether they owe me a Bitcoin or not, the ledger shouldn't reflect the fact that they owe me a Bitcoin. Now, I just want to add, this has no effect on XRP, and you can also create assets that don't reflect legal obligations. But that's what makes the decentralized exchange possible. Most digitized or collateralized fiat assets on the ledger are freezable by their issuer. So it's the issuer of that asset that can freeze it. So if you decide to accept dollars backed by, let's say, GateHub, GateHub can freeze those dollars. Let's say if the government says that you can't withdraw them. So it's an actual legal obligation tradable on the ledger. Yes, it's strictly the issuer. And XRP isn't issued by anyone, so there's nobody who could freeze it.
Yeah, Dima was second and David is third.
My name is Dime. Thank you for your speech. It was amazing, very interesting, and yeah, now I'm looking forward to buy some Ripple coins. But
please, XRP.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to ask how the real coins were distributed initially, and how are they distributed now? Thank you.
Thank you. So, consensus cannot accomplish the initial distribution of a digital asset. Unlike mining, it is not. It's cooperative. It's not aversive. It's not based on game theory incentives. So it doesn't have the ability to sort of pick winners. The way the XRP ledger works, all of the XRP that will ever existed in the Genesis ledger and was sort of open for anyone to take. Kind of ironically, after
I want to buy some Ripple coins, please, XRP. Next here comes from Boy XRP.
Are you tracking all these different daily emerging currencies, one? And two is, again, it goes back to my sort of step back question. Is someone looking long term at the systemic effects? You know, where are we going to be? This is eerily reminiscent of the late 90s in derivatives, which were nominally small parts of the market that were esoteric, et cetera. And then, of course, 10 years later, exploded. So why don't you start with Mr. Giancarlo and the chairman, and I'll finish up with the chairman.
Thank you very much. So you're absolutely right. Bitcoin is one of many. However, of the many, there's really a handful that have gotten significant traction, and so that's important though for listeners to know, because so many of these are fraudulent, as you said. We went after one, and just mentioned it because I think it's interesting, called My Big Coin, which became known as My Big Con, by people that were defrauded by it. It was people that really were taking, it was a Ponzi scheme. They were taking consumers' money and use it to buy houses and furniture and jewelry. And we went after them hard, and we will continue to do that. In terms of systemic risk, right now this is still a relatively small market just by ratio, but as you say, we have to watch it and watch it carefully.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, the SEC doesn't have direct jurisdiction over the pure cryptocurrencies, but we have had to watch it because, of course, they're integrated with the markets that we do oversee. And to your question of does 10 make sense or 15 or 20 make sense, I have a hard time getting my head around that, because if it's an efficient medium of exchange, 15 of them fluctuating different places probably doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But that's where I'm at. On systemic, look, I agree with Chairman Giancarlo. But if people are getting ripped off, that presents reputational risks that can have systemic effects.
There is only a handful. Now guys, we're to the fun part of XRP and the XRP community. Now this is quite interesting. XRP, the world has tweeted out Mr. Unknown Name. He got right with the first post. What if he also gets right with the last post? We could see right here, prepare. Now, collapse of the system late July. What if they introduce a new financial system afterwards, late August? This is quite interesting, guys. Huge months coming up. When this design has tweeted out, all you need to know, tried my best to simplify it. Now, there's a lot of numbers here. You guys can pause the video and investigate this image right here. Mr. G has tweeted out, my mate told me today, why are you spending all your time on this XRP rubbish? He's walking around with hand sanitizer. He's no longer a mate. No money for him, I guess. It's going to be very interesting how 2020 plays out, but hopefully it will be a good year. Reborn has tweeted out, XRP community, we are on the blink of XRP being written into the blueprint of time for the greatest wealth transfer in history. 7+ years of laying the tracks. The plumbing is now complete. The narrative is set. July, is it the month? Many blessings await. When will be the month? When will it be? But greatest wealth transfer in history. Gorgecko tweeted out, I just got some wonderful information, so I wonder what type of information he has. Kevin Cage has tweeted out, the US dollar is not going anywhere. It's just not going to be the primary medium of international exchange anymore. We need a global bridge tool that moves things fast, cheap, and is energy efficient, which is... Kaboom has tweeted out, the Fed has stopped repo liquidity to banks. 450 billion a day. How long will the banks last? XRP, the liquidity solution? XRP, which is the solution. Next one comes from Crypto Bull. If you love XRP at 20 cents, imagine how much you will love it at $10. We'll have to see what happens when XRP does reach these types of numbers and above. Fifi finally tweeted out this right here. We could see the replies. We could see 12th of July. So again, guys, watch out for these upcoming dates. The final tweet for today's video comes from Baba Cugs. Boom! We can see right here, Senate Banking has called a committee-level vote on July 21st on Judy Shelton. There is July 21st. Again, many dates to keep an eye out for. Do you only hold XRP or do you have other coins? Only XRP. But guys, who knows what's going to happen at the end of the day. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys did, please leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already. Feel free to be a member of the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. And yeah, guys, see ya.
This is the beginning of the greatest economic cycle this country has had since World War II. And I knew the things that Donald would do. And he hasn't even got started. But this is the eye of the motherfucking storm, the perfect storm. It ain't never going to get any better. Never. This is perfect for the QLA model. If I could have written a prescription or a formula, I couldn't have written it any better. Low interest rates, money's free, you stupid. Massive chaos. And Donald's going to rip the economy apart. And he's going to for practice in a good way. This is it. It ain't never going to get anything better. This is like a multiple orgasm the rest of your life, you fucking slags that are in the audience. This is it.
Sometimes I don't want to hear what Dan has to tell me. But as I wrote in one of my blogs, the old man, he's always right. Because he's telling you what you don't want to hear about yourself, but what you know is true. And that is, you're not stepping yourself up. You're not stepping your game up. And you get caught up in fear. As Dan says, false expectations appearing real.